Well, welcome back to episode 3 of Moss Valley. Behind me you can see I have two vehicles which have decided to collide with each other. Fantastic. Okay, we will hide them for now. I have a worker seeding and a worker spraying the field. This is going to be canola. I have also, just before starting the episode, put this in as grass. So we've got grass, canola, and then this field over here. I think I might wait till next month to do barley. We are in the same first month of the year, but I plan, once that field is complete behind me, to move into the next month. So that's where we are currently. Now, I was planning to get a roller, however, the roller that is in game is quite expensive, and I think it's a field roller, not a grass roller. The grass roller is quite narrow for what it is, so I'm going to hold off doing any rolling until we get some extra mods in due course. That's where we are there. I do want to get animals, so I need to look at what the plan is for that. We have chickens and cow options on the farm, but like I said, I want to make this into a sheep farm, so I really want to try and look at that as well. So give me a second to sort out what's going on or not going on behind me, and I'll get back to you in a minute. Okay, well, I've had a look. We have the cow barn there, we have a chicken coop here. If we go through here, I thought these three were all chicken. Apparently it's pig, chicken, pig. So basically cows, pigs, chickens. Only thing we don't have is sheep, which is what I want. So I might end up getting rid of the two pig barns because I don't really feel like I want to do pigs at all. We will start with chickens though, because I want to get some eggs. We can get 550 in here. I am going to start with 100. Which gives us room to then have them breeding and producing more. There we go. We'll have to look for the feed point, which I think might be this. Right, let's get some wheat while we still have our harvest. Can I not take off from here? Yeah, I can't. Where's the techie out point? That would be this is the techie out point. Yes. Let me stop first though. We'll take 20,000 now because we can fill both chicken coops up. I assume this is the feed for this one. It is. Perfect. think my plan will be, as these chickens are breeding, I will move them to this pen. Right, there we go. Now I have a vehicle on finance, which I think is 12 or 13,000 a month. So we need to make sure we have at least that in the balance every month for 6 months. Leave that there for now. Have my vehicles collided again? Right, stand by. I'll get back to you. Again. Right, so I of course play on this field doing the fertilising again because the other field still needs half an hour to complete. This one needs 35 minutes. I'd rather get these both done before we move on to the next month. So I'm going to let these do what they need to do, which is good. We obviously have the chickens in, we have them ready. Now off camera, again, I'm just going to go and have a bit of a look around and see where I think the best place will be for the sheep. Once I've picked that location, I'll bring you back in so you can see me look at putting the pasture down. I have got the fenceless pastures mod, so that is where I'm planning to use for the sheep. Ideally, looking at this bit of farmland over here, if I just top out and turn over, this could quite well be a good place to put the sheep. Obviously there's no grass there currently, but if grass grows in, in fact yes, let's put them here. I think this is where we're going to do it. Let's see how this works. Sheep pasture fenceless. Do I want the auto water? I don't think we do, to be fair. I'm happy to water them. Right, let's see what I can do. Oh, that's not a good start though. I kind of want to have these fairly easy access. Right, so it's going to have to be maybe a bit in the middle of the field. I want to get a tractor through there. This might be a mistake levelling the ground, but what's the worst that'll happen? Oh, that. Yes, customize the fence. We're definitely going to have to level that out somehow. Not quite sure how we best go about this. across these tufts where the border is. Okay. Okay. Not quite sure what's happened there. I'm not gonna lie, this has not really gone as much as I planned. Can I smooth this out a bit? Oh, can. That's going to be a floating trough now, isn't it? I can tell. Right. Okay. I'm not entirely certain why that little bit's like that. Obviously the grass is going to regrow in, so that's not going to be a problem, but yeah, different. The grass I'm sure will grow in here, not here. Hopefully the pallets spawn on the land and not in the land. I can get 98 sheep. Okay. Right, well, we are now in September. I went for goats instead of sheep, partly because we get milk from the goats, and I believe this will be better value for money. So we have 205 kilograms already, which is fantastic. The grass looks like it's going through nicely, which is also fantastic. There is 10,000 litres of meadow grass in the pasture, plus the 3,000 from the bale that I put in earlier. And they've used 200 litres of water, so not much. That should keep that going for a little bit. So yeah, all in all, not bad. I was contemplating getting rid of the pasture and putting it back down again, partly because of this little tuft, which is obviously passable for feet but not for vehicles. I'll see how it goes. Obviously this grass, which was the sown grass, is not grown through fully yet. I'm not quite sure whether you can mow this, but we'll give that a go at some point too. The chickens are doing well. They have produced a few eggs already, go through here. So the pallet's coming on nicely. Slowly but surely. So yeah, all in all, that's not too bad. Now, we have this field to put some barley into. This was our canola field. Why does this look a bit weird? Oh, there's weeds going through it. Okay. Right, well I'm going to have to get a weeder at some point. So the grass is coming through nice on there as well, which is good. We need to fertilise that again. Yeah, lots to do. I think the first priority then is going to be the weeding. Yeah, that's weird. I don't know why weeds do that occasionally. I've got a solution. We can use the herbicide and the machine we had, our liquid fertilizer, can do that. So I think we start off with that one. I'm going to put the end of this out here. We'll fill that up. All my vehicles are dirty. They will need cleaning at some point. "15 minutes. Perfect. That gives us time to start this. Yeah, well, this on course plate 2. Because that will definitely take longer. Yeah, hour and 40 minutes. I'm not time-lapsing that, he'll be happy to know. We'll certainly let that do its thing. Let that do its thing. We do need to put some more fertilizer on, but we can't do that while the spray is doing its job. I have decided we are going to get rid of this plough because it was such a nightmare. I am just not happy with it whatsoever. So we're going to go back to the old faithful of the Lizard 6M. And at least it's more precise in my driving skill. Right, strictly speaking, that's all the work being done by other people. I'm just wandering around aimlessly. Right, so got those two fields fertilized. I'm now going to do this one. I'm going to follow behind the seeder. So we should keep pace with that. I will do a headland because I think this is wide enough to do the headland where we've already seeded. I'm not entirely certain if we need to wait for it to be seeded before fertilizing, because I think we can put it down on either state. But I'd rather go over the seeded crop rather than the field. Right, I'm going to do a bit more of a time lapse. I might just jump through, it depends on how long the video is going to be. We're a fair bit of time in on this episode again, so I just want to make sure we get enough in without repeating ourselves too much. Right, I am finishing up the episode. The field is still being sown, and I will catch up with the fertilizer once it is finalised. But we are in need of some cash, and because we are spending 13,000 a month on the finance agreement, I need to make sure I've got that in the balance. So I'm coming up here to sell the oat, because I don't believe we need the oat for anything. I assume it's in here. Not quite sure where the sell package is here. Yeah, looks like that might be it. We'll find the back just in case. Oh no, it's here. Okay. Yeah, so we don't need the oat for anything. If we do, we can put another crop in and do that in the future. But this should get us a decent income. $130,000, so yeah, fantastic. Right, that will keep us going for quite some time now. I hope. Well, I haven't said that. I seem to be spending money like water at the minute. But new series, lots of things to get, so it's understandable. This again is quite a beautiful map, and I assume we will get to see most of it at some point as we're playing. But for now, thank you very much for watching, and I will see you very soon. Bye for now.